Okay, welcome to today's demonstration of the WTIN.com website. Right now, I'm on the homepage, WTIN.com, as you can see here. The first step to accessing content on here is to firstly log in the top right corner over here. So I'm just going to enter my details over here, and then we'll be able to take a look at the website. If you click Remember Me, that should keep you logged in on the website here, so you won't have to do that every time. Now that I'm logged in, you can see it says Welcome Adam just at the top corner there. And now I can access all the different articles on the homepage over here. So just to give a bit of background about the company WTIN, World Textile Information Network, we've been publishing information for a number of decades, and we've had a website since around 2011. So there's a huge archive of content on here already, and we're continuing to grow and publish information for all these different sectors that you can see listed here. So this is the way that we categorize the website. We focus on the textile manufacturing, and these 5 main areas are split up so you can access any of these and find out the latest information for what's being published in that area. Now, what you can also do from the home page that we're on now, you can customize the information that you want to see first. So on here, it's a mixture of all the latest content on the website that's been published by us. But if you click over here where it says Customize Homepage, you can choose any area out of these. You can expand these menus and then select any of these for what you want to see first. So in this example, we can choose maybe sportswear and wearable technology. Scroll to the bottom and just press submit. Now what that will do is create a new section on your home page over here, just called select. And this is showing us all the latest articles for sportswear and wearable technology. So very easy. If you set that up, every time you log on to the website, you'll be able to see your selection and find out the latest articles that meet the criteria that you're interested in finding out more about. So that will remain on your page, and you can always come back and change that if you ever wish to. What else we can do though, if you want to see articles that have been published in the past, you can also search using quite similar filters there. So you've got all these different channels of information that we have on the website, so you can filter by them. And again, if you want to choose something like technical textiles and then type in wearables, you'll see there, again, all the information that's been published. So the latest articles first, and then all the other pages of articles containing everything else that's been published in the past. Okay, so that's searching through the website. Now, if you want to find content specific for any area, you've got the insight channels here, and you can click on those. So I can click on technical textiles over here, and now everything on this page will be related to technical textiles. So this is where you can find all the latest information for that particular market segment. Now, you'll see on here, it starts with what we call the insight articles. And then underneath we have trending articles and news articles as well. So what the insight does, these are looking at the bigger picture. These are looking at the big topics that are going on around the world. So really taking a look and saying, how do these different stories that are happening, how are these affecting the industry that we're looking at? So how are these affecting technical textiles and the people working in those, who are obviously the same people that are subscribed to this particular area of the website. So these will be asking a lot of questions here, and you can see an example here of this technical article. So these are where we publish a lot of the R&D content. These technical articles, they go into a lot of detail and really talk in a lot of detail about these different innovations, how they've come about, how they've actually been achieved, and if they were tested like they were in this case, what were the results of that as well. You'll also see a lot of other articles, so things like economic subjects, so looking around the world at global trade, anything impacting different countries. So you can see there about the EU and another article there as well on a similar topic. And then finally, you can also see a lot of different updates for companies working in this area. So you can see there mention of that organization and quite a few on here. So if anyone is opening new premises, new factories, or if they've got any new releases in terms of products or machinery, you'll also find those in the insight section, and those will be giving you all the information you need to know about for those different stories. Now, what else we have is then the trending articles. So you can actually see out of those insight articles what everyone's been reading the most. So that just goes from top to bottom like that. And on the right, you can see the news section. So the news section is actually looking at everything else that's going on that hasn't been covered in the insight. And these tend to be the smaller stories, so the things that aren't going to affect everyone, but are still quite interesting to know. So that means, you can look at this article here. You'll see it'll be a few paragraphs long there, and just basically saying that this company will be attending the ITM show and showing some new machinery there. Whereas one of the insight articles will actually look at the bigger topic, so you might actually find an insight article that will be talking about that entire show and everything that you can expect to see there. Now, just one other thing for the news is that we then also have what we call around the web news. So this looks, as it suggests, around the web. So we have different sources that we monitor through the website. And if they publish anything relevant, it will appear here in this around the web section. So it's looking for things like phrases and keywords. And if there is anything published, then it just appears here automatically, which means that any of our users don't actually have to go around on different search engines trying to find that information when you can get it all in one place. And then if you did want to click on any of these different topics here, I could just click on this one, and that would take us to this website over here, which is just loading, and then you just be able to read that article over there. So just a good way of making sure that you don't miss anything, and it saves you a lot of time. Don't have to look around the web, you can just get it over here instead. And that's going to be all about technical textiles. Now, just the last thing that we can see over here on the page, on the Insight page, this is the Future Textile magazine. So this is our counterpart publication for technical textiles. And with access to the Technical Textiles Insight page, you'll also get access to this magazine. Now, all the magazines that we offer work this way. So I can show you the full list here. So all these different titles here align with these insight channels. So that means, for example, the Nonwovens channel relates directly to the Nonwovens Report International magazine. You can see there. And also the Effects channel has the counterpart magazines of Being International Dyer and Digital Textile for digital printing. Effects actually covers dyeing, printing, finishing, and coating. So all those different areas are covered on that channel. Now, with these magazines, these electronic journals, you can read all of these online. So that's what's included with the membership to the Insight. You'll get access to the online versions of the magazines. Now, I've just opened up this one here, and you can see that it's very much the same as reading a traditional printed magazine. You can just click through the pages that way. And then if you want to stop and read any articles, you can just click on that, and that'll zoom in there and just let you read that in your browser. Now, some people do prefer to download these magazines, so we do offer that as an option there on the left-hand side. If you were to click that, you can see you can download that as a PDF, which means that if you're ever offline, if you're traveling or anything like that, you can always take that with you as well. So that is available just to be saved on your computer. Now, just another option with these magazines is that you can also search any of the text in there. So if you are looking for any terms, for example, this is to do with dyeing, so we could printing, sorry. So we could actually say how many times has the word printing been mentioned in there, and you can see it's quite a lot. But that's just one example. If you're looking for any particular companies or anything like that, you can also type in their names there, and you can see how often that has been talked about in this particular issue of the magazine. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go back to the main page over here, to these insight pages. And perhaps if I just go on the nonwovens page. So you can see this is all about nonwovens, and there's a lot of different subsectors in nonwovens. So everything ranging from the wipes, the hygiene, to the filtration. There's a lot of different areas for this particular channel, for the nonwovens segment. So what we've done on the website to let our subscribers focus on a particular area rather than having to come on here and look for the latest news, or try and search for that information, what we have instead is a feature called the watch list just in the top right corner over here. So I'm going to click on that and show you that this is how you can create focused alerts about all the different topics that you're interested in. So it's a newsletter. You can see there at the bottom, you can choose how often you want to receive that newsletter emailed to you. But the difference with this is that you can choose from, firstly, a number of different sectors. So you can see there, nonwovens is listed there. And you can open that up and choose any of these different sectors that you'd like to focus on. So it's just a case of clicking on these. Any that seem relevant to you, you can just click on those. And then you can even combine that with any other areas, like these ones that are listed here under technical textiles, or even on the effects. So all of these you can open up and see all the subsectors. But what you can do once you've chosen some of these different sectors on here is that then you can combine that with a theme. So the theme is what you want to know about that sector, or the sectors that you've chosen. So for example, if your job role is related to R&D, you can see research and development is a topic there, and you can click on that, and that's going to give you all the articles that are related to R&D that talk about the sectors that you've chosen. So you're making the articles very specific with these additional filters, but you're focusing it as well. So when that email does come through, that newsletter with all the articles listed on there, you know that they're going to be quite relevant because of what you've chosen here. Now you can choose as many of these again as you wish, or if you're happy with your selection, you can then even combine it with additional filters such as regional focuses, so just looking at different continents over there, or you can use different keywords. So what the keywords filter lets you do is put in any sort of industry terminology there, any sort of keywords like that. So it could even be things like manufacturing processes or the names of certain products. But what a lot of people tend to do is also use this keyword section to keep track of different companies. So if there's perhaps competitors, suppliers of yours that you'd like to keep track of, you can type their names in there and just find out whenever anything has been published about them. So if I put in WTIN there, and then I'm also going to put in another variation of the spelling. So if I put in World Textile Information Network, then what that will do is look for articles that either mention WTIN or World Textile Information Network. So it's a good way to do it like that, just so if someone does write about that company in a certain way, then you know you're going to get that if you put in all the possible variations of that spelling. So it's just a case then of giving it a name, something relevant, so when that comes through to you by email, you'll know what it's about, and then just saving that on the day that you want that to be delivered. So choose your delivery date, press save, and then it'll appear at the top here, and then you'll be able to review that. So when your first watch list comes through, it will probably contain quite a lot of content because it's the first one. So it's going to look past all the recent weeks of anything that's meeting the criteria that you set up here. And then after you've received your first one, your second one then will only contain all the new articles that again meet that criteria, but that have been published since you got your last watch list. So it will never duplicate itself. It will only give you the new information for that watch list criteria. Now, what I'm going to look at next is just some of the different settings that we offer. So if you do want to customize your account a bit more, you can just go to the top here. You can either click where it says welcome, and that will take you through to your settings page, or you can click on My WTIN, and then you can see by clicking My WTIN, you can go to all different areas. So again, you've got your watch list there, you've got the magazines over there, but you've also got your settings page. Now those are just your personal details at the top there. This is also where you can change your password. So if you do click on that, type in a new password, and then just go to the bottom and confirm it by saving your settings. So if you do want to change your password, it's very easy to do so once you're logged in. And then just over here is the different email settings. So if you are subscribed to the Full Insight, then you will receive the newsletters for each of those different channels. But if you're subscribed to just one Insight channel, then you'll only get that particular newsletter for that channel. Now, what else you will receive are the daily newsletters. So we send out a daily email containing the top news across all sectors, which is always interesting to know. But it depends if you want that information or you're looking for more specific information, where you might be better replacing that daily newsletter with one of the watch lists, even if you want that every day, but focused on a more specific area. Then you've got the weekly newsletter, which comes every Friday, and that gives you a weekly roundup of all the top news, again, across all the different sectors that we publish about, so all of those below it, which a lot of people do enjoy as just a weekly reminder or a summary of everything that has happened that week across all different areas. And then all these channel newsletters are published once a week per channel. So if you are subscribed to the Full Insight, then you will get 5 different newsletters throughout the week. But if you do want to stop receiving any of those, again, it's just a very easy case of clicking on the box over there and then just saving your settings at the bottom. Now, just the very last thing is that you can also choose to receive digital magazine notifications with this box over here. That just means that if you do want to be made aware of whenever there's a new digital magazine available online, then if you click that box, that will send you an email whenever that new magazine is available, and then you can just have a link to that and you'll be able to go and read that magazine straight away as soon as it becomes available. So again, if you do want that setting, just click that box over there and then just click save. Now I do think that covers everything on the Insight section of the WTIN.com website. But if you do have any questions, just feel free to get in contact with us. Probably the best email address would be sales@WTIN.com with any inquiries, and we'll be happy to help you. But otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Thanks. Bye-bye.